Hello, people of the universe. I am doing something a little bit different. I haven't really done one of these in a while. My hair's a mess, and it's fine. Just can't leave it alone because now I see it. Okay. Anyways, I just wanted to share some stories that I've been thinking about in my head. They're not necessarily like bad or anything. I don't know why. I think they're funny, and then I think about them, and then I try not to laugh outwardly around people for no reason when they don't know what's going on in my head. So I'm just going to put it out there. These are stories that I've had about old roommates. I won't name any names, but first and foremost, these stories do involve some drug use of a couple of different calibers. One's not so bad, one's somewhere else. I don't do drugs. I don't condone it. I'm not here to promote it or anything. I'm just letting you know that it's a part of it. Now, um, California is known for having earthquakes, and I have a couple of stories pertaining to that. The first one that I have was with my roommates that I had at the time a few years back. They, two of my roommates were, there was a couple, and they were pretty high on some on weed. I don't think it was edibles. Anyways, long story short, the building that was the earthquake happened. The building was wobbling. The girl of that relationship ran to the door, locked it, ran to their bedroom. I didn't know why. I asked, I was like, what? I asked the next day when she's more thinking clearly. I was like, do you remember doing that? She's like, yeah. I was like, why'd you do that? I thought somebody was breaking in. I mean, like, the whole building was moving. Who's breaking in? The Hulk? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was just like, I mean, sometimes I do things that make me go, if I was doing any drugs, this would be a lot worse. I already do things that I don't need the help for. um, Another one was the other earthquake doesn't have to do with any roommates at the time. I was driving, and my car's brakes are not the best. I felt my car shake, and I thought, "Oh, this is it. My car is gonna break down. It's gonna fall apart. Everything's gonna. It's bad. It's all bad." No, everybody. I was going to work, and they're like, "Did you feel that earthquake?" And I'm like, "Is that what that was?" And I looked. My phone had an alert. 5 minutes later, oh, there's an earthquake, and I'm like, I thought my car was breaking apart. Like, and then I had started seeing the posts. Oh, was there an earthquake? Or I think there was an earthquake. People are like, the earthquakes weren't even really that bad. And I was like, that's because you're in California. None of the earthquakes are bad that you think of. And you're like, okay, it's an earthquake. It doesn't really happen much anywhere else. It happens a lot here. So I guess we're all just kind of used to it. Um, so the last story that I had does involve my roommates and a different type of drug. I won't name. Um, Basically, this drug kind of sucks out all your happiness from the next day. So the next day you kind of feel down and upset because you used all your happiness. It's the best way to explain it. Um, but I'd woken up, and one of them was just kind of rubbing their arms. And I asked her, I was like, "What's wrong with your arms?" They're like, "Oh, my forearms are just really sore." And I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "I was snapping all day to Frozen yesterday." I was like, "Why were you doing that?" And then they told me that they had done that and what it does. And they're just like, yeah, we're just so hyped up that we watched Frozen for like 3 hours, and I was just snapping along to songs, and now I really regret it. Like, I've had to use my arms, and I know snapping after a while does get sore, but I mean, if you're so happy and it keeps going, and you keep doing it, that can't be good. Um, Other than that, like the roommates I had at the time tried a few different drugs, and those were just some of the funniest stories that were stuck in my head. Um, they wanted to at least experience things. There are some things I didn't touch, which is good, but like I don't think I think that last one that I talked about probably isn't the best. The first, like, weed's fine. Everybody does it medicinally or recreationally, and I know you can't do that legally some places, but I think it's fine. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I've obviously been around people that have done it all the time. Um, but I just had these stories that have just been in my head for a while now. I've just kept thinking about it, and I think putting it out there is gonna help me get other stories, if that makes sense. So maybe in a couple of days, I'll have a different story in my head. That's it for now.